Good morning. All right, so today I was kind of remembering just me, the kind of person that I was, what I liked, and how and what happened, kind of with those experiences. So I kind of want to start here. When I was coming up, there were a lot of things that I felt like I aligned to. For instance, I was always attracted to magical things. Um, I love the movie like Excalibur, being able to, that mystical type of energy where, the story of Excalibur is Excalibur is a sword that was stuck in a stone, and the only person that was able to pull it out was Arthur, and so there's a lot of mysticism and things that goes along with that. But those were the type of movies and things that I was connected to. But yet, that even though that was something that I was connected to, I was always taught that it wasn't real, that it wasn't right, that it wasn't of the divine, that it wasn't something that I should be aligning myself with. But I had a problem with it because although, there was a lot of talk of not doing something, it came off more so because I said so versus it being this is the actual reason on why. And I'm the kind of person that loves to know the why. I want to understand. And, I've been like that since I was a kid. To me, if you don't know the answer to the question, then the answer is I don't know. Because that allows for an opportunity to continue to grow and continue to learn. But I was simply just told it's not real, it's not true. So again, I'm watching, I feel magical, and it's a trying to understand why these things are why I feel so connected to these things. Watch these shows. Um, and what was coming to me is that although you would think that, hey, people around me are going to keep it real, um, I'm, you know, my best interest is at heart here, in certain situations and scenarios, you simply realize that it may not have been. And it may not have been for agenda, for whatever specific agenda that person had. So I pulled some cards just to kind of see what's what here. One of the things that I noticed is that the first card that came out was the Three of Swords, which of course represents heartbreak, represents, you know, grief, suffering, and what I'm getting is that kind of like myself, there's someone out here that has been pulled apart from the things that they love in a sense. So there was a point in time where someone got into your head, where someone was able to make you feel as if like that which you believed, which you felt comfort in, that which you needed to explore and understand wasn't real, wasn't right, and wasn't okay. And you've had a lot of heartbreak because how many of us know that when we're separated from something that we love, it causes suffering. And so you were being purposely ignored. Okay, so you were purposely being misled. You were purposely not being told the everything about the things that you were loving, liking, wanting to experience. And maybe the person just simply didn't believe whatever it was that they believed what they were saying, let's just say. But part of traumas, generational traumas that we've experienced, things that we go through, is that we continue to deliver same information, same responses, without discovery, without research, without actually figuring out if the statements that are being made are factual, are truthful, are things that can benefit somebody else. And like me, you could be a generational curse breaker. You can be someone that is breaking the chains, is doing something different. And when you are that one, your voice is going to be silenced. Your ideas are going to be suppressed. Because whether if the people in the bloodline know or understand kind of what's happening at this moment, they are truly kind of being, let's just say, exposed. Things are now aligning the way that it needs to be. And in order for things to align the way that it needs to be, maybe sometimes something may need to be exposed. Something may need to be uncomfortable. And that's who you are. And I see that you didn't allow, you did not allow those hindrances to stop you from kind of breaking those chains. What it was, you just kind of dealt with a lot because of it. Because you had to break these chains, because you had to prove something different to someone else, because you know, somebody sitting around here going, like, if there's a wall and everybody that you know is stuck on the other side of this wall, but there's a person that's continuing to take a hammer and they're banging and they're banging and they're banging and they're banging, and a person, the people, even the people that's behind the wall too, says, hey, this person is crazy, I don't understand, or I don't know what they think that they're going to accomplish with this. They'll never be able to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish in this way because I've never seen it done this way, whatever. And they start doubting this person, but meanwhile, this person is continuing to hammer and to hammer and to hammer. And what happens is that eventually there's a hole. There's a hole visible enough that you can see through it. There's a hole big enough now that a body can fit through it. And that escape is inevitable at this point. And so what happens is that a lot of times you have people in your bloodline that just doesn't see it. They don't get it. They don't understand it because they're not the breakers. They had to wait until you did it. And so it's important for you to stand up for yourself when you know when you know that there's something that needs to be stood up for. It's important. It's important for you to, for one, give yourself credit for doing what you're doing. Congratulate yourself, because although there's been a lot of problems, drama, trauma, issues, just everything that goes against what you want in the end, you're still doing it. You're still accomplishing it. And so, trust the timing. Trust that when you're doing something is when you're supposed to be doing it. There's always going to be just things around you that pulls you down. Things around you that says stop, and remind you of the fact and the feelings that you had when you were told that this wasn't real, but you feel it and you know it's real. And so it's using the things that you know to be true to stop repeating cycles that don't need to be repeated. It's just as simple as that. And at this point, you're putting a death to it, because although people tried to play you crazy, tried to set out and be calculative and be methodical about their plans, thinking that you wouldn't know, thinking that you would never understand, actually feeling kind of conceited and being, feeling this kind of way within themselves as if they got away. But the thing is that you know who you are, you know what they were trying to do. You understand that there isn't anybody in this world that can tell you what's right and wrong. That's something that you feel within. That's something that you connect with your higher power about, and you say, hey, let me understand you, because I understand that if you are this, then this must be good. I understand that if you aren't this, then this must not be what I align to. So it's you getting yourself together to be able to discover who you are, because people are always plotting. And they don't even realize that half the time, as a human who is living a physical experience, who doesn't understand the spiritual, you don't understand that which sometimes motivates you, that which sometimes drives you, because you don't understand the spiritual parts of yourself. And so it's important to continue on, because once you break the chains, you provide the ability for one to be free. And so, thank you very much for chatting with me. My name is The Ja Renee. If you liked my content, please go ahead and subscribe. Please also go ahead and hit that button and like. Please go ahead and share it, because if this helped you, it's going to help somebody else as well. Don't be stingy. Okay? And so, and if you enjoyed yourself today and had a great conversation with me, come on back, because I would love to be able to speak with you again. And you have a great day.